Good afternoon, everyone. For the next 30 minutes or so, we will present the strategic management and market analysis of Bvlgari, Bali. This is our table of contents.
Okay, let's start from the history and operation. The Bvlgari Resort Bali had a rich history because the mother company is Marriott, and the Marriott founded in the 1927 by the Bvlgari and his wife Alice. Their first business was a root beer stand called the Hot Shop in the Washington D.C. And later they opened their first hotel in the 1957. And the Bvlgari Hotel Resort, the partner with the Bvlgari, launching the Bali Resort in 2006. And today, Bvlgari Resort Bali managed by the Marriott and offering luxury villas and special service and wellness activities made for guests.
So our mother company is Marriott International, and the strategic business units, luxury hotels are Ritz-Carlton, Regis, and Bvlgari. Premium hotels, Marriott and Sheraton, and South Service is Kotya and Monsi. So our strategic business unit that we selected is Bvlgari Hotel and Resort, mainly focusing on Bvlgari Bali.
So the vision and mission, we start with the vision of Marriott to be the world's favorite travel company, as well as for Bvlgari to deliver unique luxury experience blending Italian elegance with local culture. For the mission is by creating and enabling unsurpassed vacation and leisure experience by enhance the lives of our customers, which basically means that Marriott wants the guests to have an unexpected vacation on their properties.
And for our aim of the project, we analyze the strategic position and the competitive strategy for Bvlgari Resort, and also we're going to give some suggestion for the possible future for the organization. So the object, we're going to make a little bit brief introduction about the company and also its position. And then we're using a PASTO, Porter 5 Forces Analyze, and also the SWOT analysis to analyze the external factors, the business attractiveness, and also the internal environment of Bvlgari. And we're going to give some recommendation for the future improvement.
Now, for the first aspect of PASTO analysis, we have the political. So Indonesia joined the Paris Agreement in 2016, and the part of their agreement would be to receive net zero emissions by 2060. Bvlgari is taking action by reducing carbon emissions by the usage of renewable energy on property and avoiding using single-use toiletry and plastics. The second political aspect would be the political paralysis of the local parties, which means that they fail to take action on the climate protocols. However, Indonesia is the 6th largest carbon emitter, so it is of utmost importance. Bvlgari is taking action by participating in recycling programs, mangrove planting, and also having a local bee colony on property.
So the first economic factor is the Indonesian currency is the Indonesian rupiah, and the Indonesian rupiah is not very stable. So it can impact the tourist spending and the cost of importing luxury goods. So the first action Bvlgari is taking is to do a dynamic pricing. They're changing the pricing based on the currency shifting. So they're changing the price of rooms and F&B to protect the margins of the currency when it shifts. The second action is to do local sourcing, because imported goods can cost very much when the currency shift again. So they are doing more local sourcing and searching for more locals to stop importing goods from the outland. The second one is seasonal and global tourism. So Bali is demanding on luxury hospitality actually, and they can get very affected by global downturns, economic downturns. So the first one they are doing is they are doing a price adjustment based on the seasonality to be able to have the same revenue for the whole year almost. And the second one is they are promoting and hosting events and miles travel during low season to make up the low occupancy.
So for the next factor is social factor. In the social factor, there is a hard word called Bvlgari. What is Bvlgari? It is illness caused by consuming contaminated products. So recently there has been a rising case of Bvlgari among the tourists linked to workplace pressure and inadequate incident reporting. Bvlgari took actions by obtaining hygiene and sanitation certificate and mandatory timeline for renewal and inspection. For the another factor is that local authority have introduced the traffic management and community initiatives to improve the tourism security and the management of over-tourism. Bvlgari took actions by cooperating with emergency departments and enhancing security measures by creating job opportunities for local by hiring locally. Next is the technology factor. Nowadays, social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok strongly influence social, cultural, and economic trends in Indonesia, especially in younger generations. Bvlgari took actions by making digital marketing such as Instagram and TikTok to showcase the resort and drive interest to younger luxury travelers. They also make user-generated content by encouraging guests to post experience and boost visibility and social proof. Lastly, the expansion of QRIS, cashless payment, is widely being adopted in Indonesia. QRIS is a payment method that accepts e-wallet and mobile banking by using a single code, which reduces the reliance on cash and foreign card system. Bvlgari took actions by having a PMS system to charge the room instead of F&B and spa outlets, as well as making SOP to train 2% cashless QR payment as a standard.
For environmental factor, the Bali is working on the issue of plastic waste. They have a bill limiting the bottle of the water under 1 liter. And the Bvlgari Resort Bali is making the actions. The Mosa Museum appears on the Bvlgari Resort Bali's website as a recommended local culture experience for guests. The Mosa means Museum of Space Available. They have a shop offering circular products in Mosa Museum, and they also host exhibitions addressing environmental issues and including plastic pollution, such as plastic people exhibitions. And this is the environmental next factor. Indonesia has launched as a national hub to improve waste management because of excessive volume of waste. The Bvlgari Resort Bali try to help protect the environmental through everyday actions such as recycling the waste and planting mangroves and analyzing monthly cleanup the activities. Next is a legal factor. Indonesia has a stronger data and cyber security system rule, and the companies must protect the personal data and report cyber problems. And the Bvlgari Resort Bali also following the rule as by update the privacy police and improving cyber security systems. And for another legal factor, Indonesia now has stricter rules on the company transparency. The companies must report the ownerships and the business informations. The Bvlgari Resort Bali also following this rule by using ethics and complaints program for support to honest behavior.
So there are two key drivers. Firstly, there is a seasonal and global tourism independence, which Bali luxury rely on international tourists but because of economic issues, travel restrictions, and fuel prices rising, it reduced the bookings. Thus, Bvlgari used flexible pricing to target multiple countries by adjusting high and low season for high and low prices for high and low seasons. Next driver is Bali, which tourists had stomach illness acquired due to staff being pressured and incident going unreported, impacting the great satisfaction of the guests and repeating the repeat visit, which Bvlgari solved this by providing food safety trainings and support staff well-being, as well as maintaining high standards.
Now, using these two key drivers, we have made a little graph of 4 scenarios. So scenario 1 would be low season, low occupancy, and low health risk. This would mean smooth operations, but low revenue due to lower occupancy levels. Now, scenario 2 would be low season and high health risk. This would be the worst scenario. There would be little to no guests, and also damaged reputation due to the health incidents and guest reviews. We move to scenario 3, where we have a low health risk and a high season. This would be the optimal scenario for Bvlgari Bali. It would have high occupancy level, high guest satisfaction, no health incidents, and high revenue. Scenario 4 would be high occupancy and high health risk. This would mean the hotel is full, but the guests are not happy, so this might affect their reputation. Now we move to Porter's 5 forces. First, we have the threat of new entrants, which we regarded as low. The reasons being the already existing intense competition in Bali, the sustainability regulations and the high capital requirements for any new entrants. The barriers Bvlgari Bali has set up for new entrants would be the economy of scale due to being part of the Marriott. They can benefit from bulk buying options and financing options from their global network, and brand loyalty, further enhanced by the Michelin Key awarded in 2025. So they have a strong reputation, and any new entrants would have to invest heavily in marketing to beat them.
The rate of substitutes is high, as we can see there are high density of lodging in the southern Bali, because so many accommodations they located close to each other, and they have over the 4,000 lodgings in within less than 3 kilometers. That means the guests have so many choice. And Bvlgari Resort Bali is different by offering the special wedding menu and many kind of the cultural experience that other places cannot provide.
So the next one we're going to the power of buyers. So actually they're suffering a lot from the power of the buyers, which the risk is quite high. So the first one, it's the price. It's very transparent due to every different platforms that you can check the different price for the hotel setup, and also for the different hotels. And also the second one, it's we're just focusing on Uluwatu, this island, and they have a lot of alternatives and substitution hotels, such as Six Senses, Ritz-Carlton, and so on. And also the buyer, it's gonna influence the next buyer's decision also, due to they can leave the comment on the platform, which is gonna give the first impression for the next guests. So what they're gonna do to prevent these consequences, so first they're gonna give the emotional values to their buyers, which in Bvlgari, Bali specifically, they have their suggestion, like the professional advisor, which is gonna give you the whole plan of your tour regarding to your different budgets. They're gonna customize your experience with different plans and also with packages. And also, besides for that, they have the brand loyalty, which belongs to Marriott, their mother company, and this create the lock-in guests. And also on their website, they're offering a lot of packages, such as the Bvlgari Actors Award, which they sell like different experiences, activities such as diving, this a lot of things.
So for the power of supplier, it is a low risk because there is fewer qualified luxury supplier, making it have higher bargaining power. And then skilled labor suppliers are very hard to replace. Thus, there is a demand, they can demand higher wages or benefits. Also, because of the high brand compliance requirement limiting the Bvlgari Bali ability to switch to cheaper alternatives, making it it's rising the supplier leverages. Bvlgari protect this by having the partnership with Marriott, which increases the bargaining power, which is the global procurement power. In a sense, global procurement power is makes the all international company have leverage to have lower prices, good quality supplies, and equal standards for all across the location for the international companies. And the strong brand designs and control limits the dependence on the individual suppliers' contracts.
So for the Porter's 5 forces, the competitive rivalry, we have put it as high risk. Bali have multiple ultra-luxury resorts competing in the same area, which includes the St. Regis Bali, Ritz-Carlton Bali, Raffles Bali, and Six Senses Uluwatu. And they are offering almost very high similar product, which is private villa, ocean view, spa, wellness, fine dining, which makes them targeting the same clientele. So the barriers that Bali is using is they are backed by Marriott. It's a very well-known hotel chain, and they have a lot of loyal guests that want to go to Marriott in each destination they go to. As well as Marriott provide them with strong marketing capabilities, and also they are using the global distribution channels. Bali is also focused, or Bvlgari Bali is also focused on the ultra high net worth travelers, which not all of the other resorts are focused on. And they have also limited room inventory. They don't have a lot of rooms or villas, and that makes it more exclusive. As well as they position on a unique cliffside that no other hotel is on that cliffside in Uluwatu.
So for our conclusion, we have two subjects, which is relatively low in risk, and the other three are quite high. And so is Bvlgari Resort Bali attractive for the investors? The answer is yes. Because first they have a very strong barriers, which comes from their mother company, which is very famous worldwide. And also for the Bvlgari itself, this luxury brand which sells like jewelries, gives the guests the first impression. And also they established their position in the Indonesia, this intensive competition. They have high density and also low risk of the new competitor due to their new regulation, which released just this year about the ban of the private beach. And also the supplier influence is kept in check by Marriott's bargaining power. And also they have a lot of high net worth clients, which it's not very sensitive at all at the price, and they offer the protection against the price fluctuation. And also about their site in Uluwatu, this Ireland, they're choosing their position in on the top of a cliff, which this limit the direct substitutions.
Now we move on to the SWOT analysis of Bvlgari Bali. First we have 4 strengths of Bali, which would be the well-known brands, strong following, then 2025 credited with a Michelin key on the Michelin Guide. It's only 10 kilometers away from the airport, which makes it one of the nearest resorts to the airport, and the average rating of 4.5 on TripAdvisor, which is quite remarkable considering they have over 1,000 reviews.
For the weaknesses, is Bvlgari cannot always predefine the seasonal categories, making it the focus less accurate and create challenges for staffing and resort planning. There is also high reliance on review volumes, making the resort vulnerable to drop in performance, and because of the balancing of Bvlgari balancing the fashion brand identity with the hotel operation, which adds the operational challenges.
So for the opportunities, there's a very high global demand for luxury and experimental travels in the world, which favors Bvlgari, of course. And also Indonesia are investing a lot in high-spending quality tourism, and they are very supporting for the luxury hospitality, as well as travel for luxury wellness. It's a very popular travel cost right now, and Bvlgari Bali is experts in wellness and spa. And also platforms like Instagram and TikTok are enhancing the visibility of the resort, because Bvlgari Bali is very social media friendly or very appealing for TikTok and Instagram, and it's very easy to be able to put them on those platforms.
And also for the threats, so like what I've mentioned about, they have very extensive competition among the luxury hotels such as Ritz-Carlton and so on. And also nowadays the alternative luxury has risen, that's what I'm going to talk about later. And also with the over-tourism, regularity pressure, and also the reputation risk. So here I have two examples for first, the alternative luxury has arrived. So I've chosen an example in Les, which is another island in Indonesia where they sell similar substitutions for the tourism. So for 2026 in Les, this island, they released the Tara, talking about the Airbnb, the occupancy of the Airbnb in Les, this island. So if we focus on the best-in-class properties, which is the top 10%, like luxury in Airbnb, which achieves like 65% occupancy in the peak season in the tourism, and which is a quite huge number, and also it's taking the place for the luxury hospitality. And the second one, I'm gonna talk about the over tourism. So if you look at figure 2, it's about 2025, the numbers, the quantity of the tourism in Bali, this island. So if you look at to the peak season on June and July, it reached more than like 6 million tourism, which caused a lot of problem for Bali also about the traffic jams and also the environmental problem and so on.
So the key results we chose the one from the pestles, which is the key drivers of Bali are dependence on seasonal and global tourism, as well as exposure to health risks. The second one is from Porter 5 Forces, the conclusion that Bvlgari Bali is attractive for business investors. And the third one is, of course, the strength, the global recognized brand, also the support by Marriott and the Michelin recognition, as well as the strategic position close to the international airport. So what the meaning of the finding is, so for Pestle, that they need to take extra caution required regarding the health risk and for the food safety after the incident of Bali Belly, and as well as seasonal marketing and strategic in pricing. The second one is strong barrier against new entrants, as well as the unique location that prevents direct substitution as well because they are on the cliff alone. And the third one is the strength to embrace the Marriott brand and the Michelin Guide recognition, as well as to maintain the identity of Italian elegance.
Now we chose one of the key results to analyze. It would be the strengths that Bvlgari Bali is known for its luxury. This is backed up by the TripAdvisor reviews, which again is 4.5. The Forbes Travel Guide, which gave it a verified luxury stamp. And of course the Michelin Guide, which earned Bvlgari Bali 1 Michelin key in 2025.
So for the implication of Bvlgari Bali, so Bali is very known for the natural disasters like volcanoes, earthquakes, or heavy rain. So that will be the first implication. The second one is the competition from unleased rentals such as Airbnb or other rental websites, which is very famous and popular in Bali, as well as the regulatory pressure. So the government are planning to introduce stricter rules on short-term rental, which will affect the market and it will affect the hotels as well because it's seen in their law as short-term rental as well as the offer supply. There's a lot of luxury resort opening up in Bali last year and this year, and they continue because it's so much demand on the luxury resorts in that area.
So let's talk about the limitations. The first, we had the limited time. We only focus on the key strategy, not daily the operation and finances. And our analysis mainly used secondary data, and we did not have access to the internal information. That means which may affect accuracy. For the future research, we can focus on the main few areas: the demand planning for high and low seasons, food safety and employee well-being, sustainability such as zero food waste, and finally we can study how the luxury resort manage the risk to protect our brand.
Now lastly, we have some recommendations for Bvlgari Bali. It would be to further develop their sustainability program to battle the carbon emissions problem in Indonesia, to support the local community by investing in charity programs which enhances their reputation, and also to make efforts to employ locally and make management trainee programs for locals, to support the local unemployment rate and support local careers, and lastly to provide reef-friendly sunscreen for all the guests, because dying reefs is still a big issue in Southeast Asia.
This is the reference, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, can you please show me the slide of the scenarios? I have a question for you. Is it really good for a business to have a high dependence on the season and the seasonal and global tourism?
We took it in like a sense of when it's highly dependent, then there's high tourism flow, and low dependence, there's low tourism flow. But I understand where you're coming from.
Yes. Here there is a mistake, okay? The best will be when there is no dependence on the tourism and on the seasonal season. Or well, during the high seasons, right?
Yeah.
Then go to Porter's 5 forces, threat of substitutes. Here, I have a question. Aria, what is a lodging?
This is not.
What is a lodgings?
It's all
Accommodations. Yes. Uh-huh.
Maria? It's like accommodations, for example, like Airbnb, like